two, how this actually works in practice for this 2-into-1 with common capability. So let's say these guys start, six MUs away from each other, just a little bit short. So who do you want to move first? Do you want the red guys or do you want the blonde guys to go first, Simon?
We'll go the red ones because red always goes faster.
Red always goes faster. So how far do they move?
So they move as a standard heavy infantry. They move 2 UD.
2 UD.
If they start outside of 4, as per ADLG, they could move 3 UD.
So from this distance, then I can choose to get. Well, I can choose to go 3. And what's my shooting range going to be with a standard pike and shot?
The standard pike and shot, which will be they'll be shooting as musket.
Yep.
They'll be shooting at 3 UD.
Okay. So if we're saying these are just within 6, the move starts outside 4. That allows them to move 3. That would get them just within 3. They then start shooting. And there's no weird penalties for moving and shooting. It's just standard ADLG type stuff. So
exactly per ADLG. All these battle units could all move and shoot.
Great. So shall we if we crack on and get shooting then? So these are going to whiz forward 3, puts them in range. Actually, while I'm asking, can they do a slide? Do they slide 80? Do they slide 40? How does
they slide 1 UD. So what we've done again is we've kept the core ADLG. Everything is based off the 1 UD movement.
So we could be there, or we could slide across to there. So, well, look, let's just go straight ahead. Let's see what we do. So we're now both within 3, and it's the shooting phase because those guys don't get a move because it's an alternate movement game. So how does this unit shoot that one then? They're both
effectively the active unit that's going to shoot will it's 2 separate units for shooting. So you'll get 2 dice.
Right. So I've got 2 dice here, and what's my basic factor?
Your basic factor is, as a pike and shot, you have a factor of 0.
Shooting. Okay. And then these guys are going to roll their defensive dice, I guess.
Yep, and they get a protection of 1 for being shot at by musket.
So this is pretty much the standard normal shooters in ADLG shoot at 0, and everybody gets protection of 1 then, really. So if I roll, do I roll these together and add them? It's 2 separate shots, isn't it? This is 2
separate shots. So once you become comfortable, what a lot of us will do is done what you've done, where you have matching colored dice on either side, and you roll both pair at the same time because it just speeds things up.
Cool. So I'm this red unit. This is my shooting dice, and then this is complicated. With the other hand, this is my defensive dice. So I'm going to say, let's make this easy. My red dice shoots at your red defense dice. That's it. And my white at my white. So here we go. Let's see what happens. Bang. So these guys are a bit rubbish. So they shoot at 0 up to 1, and these guys are 1 up to 2. So that's a miss.
It happens,
These guys shoot at 0 up to 2. That's 2. These 1 up to 3. So that's 2 misses. Bosh. So they've missed each other. They've missed shooting that way. So then these guys, I guess, get to return fire.
They get to return fire. Yep.
Right. It's actually easy, isn't it? Let's do the same. Red against reds. But do I need to decide which side is which?
No, because following the standard ADLG rules, once you're in effective range, each unit must shoot at the unit directly in front of it.
Okay. So and the cohesion will be against the whole unit, won't it?
Against the whole unit, yeah.
Okay.
So you can potentially take 2 cohesion.
In this case, it doesn't matter whether I'm that way around or that way around, because cohesion loss will be on the whole lot.
It makes no difference at this point.
And
the only time it really makes a difference to declare the dice is when you've got multiple units and you've got support adding in.
Okay, we'll look at that in a minute then. So these guys, they're going to shoot red, 2 and a 5. 5's a good one. And these guys do 3 and 4. Ding. So actually, 3 plus defense 4 against 2 is nout. 5 against defense 4 plus 1 is still nout. There's nothing happened. This is a brilliant demo, isn't it? The bounced off because of my stunning dice rolling. So let's go into another round of movement. These guys get to move. So what if I'm is there anything for super short range with Pike and Shot?
Nothing for short range. So
No,
we've
just
kept all the muskets, arquebus, and all that. There's no close range. There is only effective range.
fine. So I'm going to, just because I can, just to see what the mechanics are. These guys are going to slide, and then they're going to do the one forward. I guess that's the same rule.
Yep.
And wheel in a bit like this.
Yep.
So whoopie-doo. So these guys now get to shoot first. So here we've got two of them who this half of this unit here looks like the closest guy. So
yeah. So what you would do here, very similar to ADLG, you would work out who is the primary shooter, which in your case is the
probably this one. Is he nearer? Is it nearer? Most in front or
most in front? Yeah.
Most in front. So it's this guy. Yeah.
Okay. So he would be the primary shooter.
Yeah.
And then the other sleeve or the other half of the battle unit forms support.
Okay. So by sliding and coming at an angle, I've reduced the number of dice I've got.
You get a plus for shooting now because you've got a +1 for support.
Supported by him. And these guys only roll one defense dice because they're just
correct. Because they've only got one person shooting at them.
It doesn't really matter what color it is. So here we go. We're shooting at 0 +1. 6. That should be good. Oh, it's another wash. It's another wash. Ridiculous.
Let's assume, though, for simplistics, that the red unit rolled a 1.
Let's pretend nothing happened there, and we'll just roll again until we get an interesting result. So here we go. So 2 +1 for the support is 3. And these guys is protection 1. You don't get support and protection 2. So these guys have now taken a hit. Now hastily re-rolled for dramatic effect combat. So this whole unit
has received 1 cohesion hit.
And I'm going to put it in my groovy little marker. So that's 1 cohesion hit. So fast forward to another turn. So these guys, I presume a cohesion hit means they're at -1. Does it? Is that
so? So the cohesion applies to both units of the battle group.
This whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're sort of mega disadvantaged now, really, aren't they? Because 2 units are taking minus and these guys are not. So maybe we just, but at the moment, I guess we would still shoot back with 1 plus the support.
Correct. Yeah, just because of the angle. The pike and musket furthest away from you is the primary one, and the one where your finger just was becomes the support.
So I'm just trying to think this through. So at the moment, I'm getting 1 shot with a +1. My opponent's getting 1 shot with a +1. Were I to wheel like that, I would get 2 shots, but without a plus for support, and they'd all be at a minus as well.
Correct.
For the occasion. So actually, I'm probably better just having 1 shot, aren't I? Because that's less chance of it going wrong.
That's the least worst, because that gives you 0 basic, -1 for being disordered.
So they're going to roll
+1 for.
So 0 basic, -1 for the disorder, 0 for the support.
Yep.
So they actually get a 6.
Yep.
And these guys dice back with 1.
Hey.
So they will take a hit. Gosh. I'll put it just there because I've not done their shooting yet. So these guys shooting back, we've done this before, base factor 0, support 1. So that's effectively a 5. Base factor 1 for defensive, 2, 3. That's less than 5. So they're now up to 2. Shooting's all simultaneous, 2 to 1. So I've now got 2 units who are both. Oh, I presume you can only take 1 cohesion from shooting.
You can take a maximum of 2.
Yeah.
From battle units. Okay. Heavy and medium artillery do work a little differently, but we'll come to those on another video.
Fine. Okay then.